Excitement surrounding that 12th of June date for the relaxation of all social restrictions hasn't gone unnoticed, with some of the UK's biggest festivals and live events sharing the announcement that as it stands, this year they'll be able to do what they do best. What's that going to be like when you first let visitors through your doors again?
Having attractions with no guests in is really, it's super sad. If I could go around and hug them all, I would. Obviously, social distancing at the moment.
Alcohol sales were up 30% in Jan. That's equivalent to £234 million. So what was it about wine online that we all seem to love?
People can't come out as much, so the delivery service is something that you've got to really kind of take hold of. And also as well, there's been a big push over the last few years or so with consumers wanting products with provenance.
But will we see tax rises or tax relief?
Well, we're not going to see tax cuts as such because, of course, that was an election manifesto commitment.
What is the wider fiscal policy the government are battling with at the moment? What is going to be their approach as we ease restrictions, do you think?
This is a Conservative government.
And if approved, we could be on the way to 200 million jabs. But for now, as the rollout continues, there's finally something to look forward to for Jeanette. Lockdown eases and you're able to go out and see people. What's the first thing you'll aim to do?
Give my grandchildren a big hug.
Well, you have talked about, you mentioned there Donald Trump. What is your relationship like? Obviously, you worked on a very important project with him. How do you see that now? Is that kind of something you still have there?
Unfortunately, because I came out against him in the election, our relationship is gone. He has railed against me and complained against me and tweeted about me.
Just finally, really quickly, it's trending on Twitter at the moment. People have raised it, probably not the right time, you'd argue, but leadership. People have been citing your name for a while on this.
I believe the Loch Ness Monster was also trending earlier when my son told me about it, so I shall take it all with a pinch of salt.
How do you reckon he arrives? Does he arrive in style? You've seen him arrive at these events before?
Oh yes, I've seen him arrive at many events. He's usually a bit late.
£100 million has been raised, so it's a very exciting event. We saw you up on stage as well, fantastic speech. So what's that like, to be in a room full of people that have done some really tremendous work and essentially, celebrate their hard work?
Well, I tell you what's interesting, because when you do an event like this and you actually get to meet the people.
That is perfect.
Is it good?
That is amazing.
Right? Well, we obviously don't do that to all our guests because it will be, against health and safety and all of that.
It's a little bit forward, isn't
it? We will get complaints.
Let's talk about how a lot of people will know you, of course. Trigger Happy TV. Now, for me, I just remember you walking around, crowds of people, and a massive mobile phone to your face. But there are some fond memories, I'm sure, for you doing that series.
Yeah, of course. It changed my life.
Prime Minister Boris Johnson has set out the roadmap for the way out of lockdown. It included a few dates for your diary, with schools in England reopening on the 8th of March. So let's unpick PM cues with Dr. Steve McCabe, and it starts with a criticism from the PM of the Labour leader.
I just think you're so good.
Oh, thank you.
Really good at your job.